What is up, y'all? We are back, and it is again Wednesday, making late video. What I wanted to talk about today was how to be the bigger person, okay? Now, in the trending society that we have, there tends to be a lot of people who love to rage bait, right? Or, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what everyone calls it. You rage bait people. And I'm here to tell you that all my friends do it to me because my whole life I've been known to be someone who's like very short-tempered on certain things. So they always try to mess with me in that sense. But yeah, so I've always had to kind of learn how to get out of that, right? You don't want to be someone who's easily irritated because then you lash out and make bad decisions. That being said, I think it is pretty crucial for you guys to figure out how to not be easily angered by things. And one of the ways that I typically do tend to calm myself down, right? Like, this is one of the things that helps me the most is just breathing. And I know that I've probably said that before, but just breathing and taking a second and just like counting in your head like 1, 2, 3, like that. You just take a little deep breath. Sometimes you need a couple deep breaths depending on the situation, but obviously, as y'all know, I told you this in the last video, I believe, that my buddy was moving to Texas. Shout out Logan. Honestly, he was like one of my best friends. So in that event, it kind of made me realize, like, I was mad at first, right? I had to realize that I needed to calm down because you got to understand too that sometimes people do things that make you mad, but that doesn't mean that what they're doing is wrong. It could be that you just don't agree. And you also need to have a mature mindset about things like that. So when it comes to times where maybe you're just mad about something that's happening, you gotta also understand that it may not be what you want the scenario to be, but that's just how it is, and you can't change it. So I think if you're able to be grown up about it enough to understand that those things are gonna happen, and you know, that's just other people's mindsets, or sometimes shit just happens. It's nobody's fault. Nobody did anything. It could be literally just like if my guitar fell off the wall, I'd be very mad, but I can't blame nobody, right? Just shit happens. By the way, it did not. She's safe. Anyways, I just wanted to talk to my younger men out there because while I do see that a lot of us are a lot better than past generations about those kinds of things, I feel actually as if the guys in this generation tend to be more nurturing, kind of like caring, you know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of have a little bit of that in us, and it's not so as cold-hearted. In other categories, we make up for it. You know, no, I don't think, well, really anybody, right? I don't think man or woman that's listening to this would agree that you want to be around people that are always mad. Nobody wants to be around a buffoon who can't control themselves and have full control of their brain. And not to mention, I think when people are mad and they're trying to prove a point to you while they're mad, nothing gets proved, because when you're mad, 9 times out of 10, you're just insulting people. If you're not, and you're just talking in a mean tone, like an aggressive tone, people are just gonna end up being like not wanting or very attentive to what you're saying. They don't want to listen because they feel more offended, and that's all they're thinking about. When I say that, I do want you guys to understand too that it's okay to be mad. It's okay to let your feelings out, but let it be on your own time. Also, don't break stuff. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Learn how to control it in that sense. Just like condense that feeling into a quick outburst, whatever you got to do. But to me, I think anger should be used more as motivation and not destructiveness. Motivation to be good or better about whatever it is that you're mad about. Like, if I'm mad that, like I said, let's say my guitar fell off the wall. If I was mad about it, I'm not gonna sit there and be like pissed. Like, it's very easy to, but at the same time, but what I should do in the event of that is really just be like, wow, okay, now I'm more motivated. Now I should go to work. And now I know why I need to go to work so that I can help afford a new one, right? Or how to fix it. So there's always things like that. You always need to look at it from, what is the best possible way I can make this terrible outcome be? How I think about it is, if something bad ever happens, it always motivates me more, right? And to go back to my buddy leaving, that was also another thing too. It's like, he's going to Texas and he's moving, you know, pretty far. So it's not gonna be someone that I get to see all that often, right? But that also made me be like, wow, okay, well, if he's gonna be doing his thing, then I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna use that, whatever the absence of one of my homies being gone, to then just make it in turn make me want to work harder, or make me want to grind harder, so that way I can get to a point where I have an abundant amount of money to go or not even an abundant, but enough money to get myself out of this house that I'm in now and be able to go travel with him and all my bros. That's kind of where I'm at, and I think that brought a lot of light to me, and I was kind of hard stuck on topics to come up with, but honestly, I've went through a lot just mentally in the past like week or two. So much has been going on in here that I actually took time and noticed that is where I find that I typically get the most ideas for content, because I would always sit there and pick out like the topics based on what was happening in the current situation that was going on. I just wanted to say though that I want you guys to keep your anger under control. Understand that you control it. This isn't his own thing. This is you. Next time you're mad, just make sure, take a deep breath, understand, analyze the situation, and then act upon it, all right? If it's a very aggressive situation, your anger needs to be handled in a violent manner. I would say never usually choose violence, but if you have to, you got to, you know? If it's defending yourself, you have to. And I have another story. So I was actually with my other friend last night. We were driving around and we went to this riverfront and we were just parked up in the parking lot. There were some chicks outside. They were sitting there, they were looking for something. I go, "Did you find it?" And they're like, "Who the hell are you?" And I was like, whoa, not gonna lie, they threw out some racial slurs that I cannot repeat. They were saying, you know, just trying to be hasteful and, you know, mean whatever, just trying to be like, "Who the hell are you talking to us like that?" In that moment, 90 times out of 10, I would have said something back, because it's like, if you disrespect me, I have no problem letting you know exactly how I feel. And I changed that because I noticed that last night, even when they were saying stuff as we were driving away, they're like, "Yeah, get away, pussy," you know, like they're saying all these things. It felt like it took a lot in me to not act upon that. But at the end of the day, I actually did feel great about what I did, because I just said, "Y'all have a nice night now." That's all I said. So then I was able to leave that situation, and even though inside of me I still wanted to say something, like I wanted to let it out, but I didn't. And that is just the control of your own brain and how you can change that. And then now looking back at it, I feel way better about that scenario and how it played out versus if I would have said something back that would have been hasteful as well. But anyways, stay smart, stay strong, and I love y'all. Make sure that y'all stay locked in with everything I'm saying. Try to practice it on the daily. And if you ever forget what that may be, I know I do sometimes when I watch videos. So if you need to come back and watch it, I have set up a couple playlists over the past couple month or two that now all my videos should be in self-improvement, and I think I have some shorts ones as well. So if you guys need to go check those out, feel free. Peace out. I love y'all.